Looks fantastic, but feels otherwise. The worst of the Arctic blast arrives tonight, so find out just how bad it's going to get. Sandra?
All right, Ben. Also first at 4, it's a mega merger that's shaking up the auto industry. We're learning more about a deal between Fiat Chrysler and Peugeot. But up first, you're looking live at a historic debate on the floor of the House of Representatives. Democrats and Republicans battling over the impeachment of President Donald Trump. We're going to tell you where things stand right now, first at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandra Ali in for Karen Drew. First at 4, it's one of those moments in American history we'll all remember. Congress debating the impeachment of President Donald Trump, leading up to a critical vote. We have team coverage for you tonight. Mara McDonald is in Battle Creek waiting for the president to arrive this afternoon as the debate continues on in Washington. But first, let's go ahead and check in with Kimberly Gill in the newsroom now. And Kim, where do things stand in Washington at this hour?
Yeah, hi, Sandra. Good afternoon. We're about 4 hours or so into this debate, which started around noon. As expected, the arguments are playing out pretty much along party lines. Democrats claiming the president abused his power, Republicans vigorously defending the president and attacking the process that brought us to this point. Listen.
The people of America see through this. The people of America understand due process, and they understand when it is being trampled in the people's house.
If we do not act now, we would be derelict in our duty. It is tragic that the president's reckless actions make impeachment necessary. He gave us no choice.
Republicans and Democrats have each been allotted 3 hours to make their case. Barring any breaks, it looks like the actual vote will happen between 6:30 and 7 tonight. They will vote on 2 articles of impeachment. The president is accused of abuse of power for allegedly pressuring Ukraine to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden, and his son. The president is also accused of obstruction of Congress for withholding documents and witnesses from the investigation. A simple majority is needed to impeach the president on either count. Michigan lawmakers are among those making their voices heard.
I learn so much every single day from my residents at home. Their common sense and understanding of what is right and wrong is centered on why they oppose any person using the most powerful position in the world for personal gain.
It is clear President Trump's actions, as described in these articles, do not constitute treason, bribery, or high crimes and misdemeanors.
As for the president, he claimed he would not be watching the debate, but he's been tweeting and retweeting comments himself. He had already tweeted 45 times before noon today. We'll keep watching events in Washington, and we'll have updates as we get any new information. Sandra, until then, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kimberly. Now let's go to Battle Creek. Mara McDonald is waiting for the president to arrive there. And Mara, it looks like the president is going to be in Michigan, really, as the impeachment vote comes down.
Sandra, good afternoon from downtown Battle Creek, where it is a balmy 18 degrees outside. Take a look. We've been here since about 2 o'clock this afternoon, and the line has only gotten bigger. We've got thousands of people out here waiting in this cold weather to hear from the president tonight. They tell us they don't care that it's cold. They want to hear from him, especially today, with the impeachment vote pending in the House. How do they feel about that impeachment? Take a listen.
The impeachment? Go for it. We're still going to win.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
I think it's great.
Tell me why.
Because it was political death for the Democratic Party. It's just going to get overturned, and it's going to send us right into 2020 with even more votes.
Back here live, the president is supposed to take the stage tonight sometime after 7 o'clock. Right now, that is still the plan, so stand by. Let's see what happens. We're live in Battle Creek. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Thank you, Mara. Of course, we'll be checking in with you throughout the evening. Meantime, it's looking like 2020 already here in Michigan. Vice President Mike Pence is also in Michigan at this hour. He stopped in Saginaw to rally support and tell workers how the Trump administration, he feels, is helping Michigan workers. Pence told the crowd Michigan's vote will once again be critical in the next election. The vice president will meet up with President Trump in Battle Creek tonight. In other news today, big news for Michigan's auto industry as Fiat Chrysler signs a merger agreement with French automaker Peugeot. That agreement would make the new company the world's fourth largest automaker. There's no name yet for the new company, and we're also being told there will be no immediate job cuts or plant closings with the merger in place. That deal is a 50-50 merger. Peugeot's CEO will be the chief executive at the new company. U.S. Attorney General William Barr is in Detroit announcing a major move to fight violent crime in the nation's most dangerous cities.
We're here to announce this afternoon a major law enforcement initiative designed to surge federal, state, and local resources into cities where violent crime rates still are higher than the national average.
Barr calls it Operation Relentless Pursuit. There are two parts to this plan. First, Barr says there will be an increase of federal agents, analysts, and equipment, and then there will be substantial resources also pumped into state and local law enforcement. That plan will first roll out in 7 cities where violent crime is higher than the national average, including Detroit, Cleveland, and Milwaukee. Well, if you've been outside at all on this Wednesday, you know how bitter it can be. We were outside downtown for a shoot earlier. Unbelievable. So cold.
And winter doesn't start till Saturday.
Officially.
Right. So we're getting sort of a pre-taste, but oddly enough, temperature's going to get warmer as we go into the upcoming weekend. So we're getting close to the worst part of this forecast. Temperatures right now 18 at Metro, so there's a chance we may not even make it to 20 this afternoon. Temperatures, the wind chill's even worse, obviously, and it doesn't take a lot of a breeze to really see a difference in these numbers. But there's still some spots where it feels like it's below zero. -2 the wind chill there in Pontiac, -1 in Sandusky, and the rest of us, it's all single digits. Tonight, temperatures will be even lower than the numbers that we woke up to this morning. So that will be sort of the bowl, the bottom of the bowl here for our Arctic blast that's been coming in from Canada. And you can see the direction of those winds sweeping across the state. Generally, these are just making clouds across most of lower Michigan, but there are some spots that are picking up some lake effect snow showers. Some of those have reached into the thumb and into our north zone, but you can see from 4 Live radar, really not amounting to much. That stuff that we woke up to this morning that was on the ground, in a lot of cases just a bare dusting, that may be the last snow we see until after Christmas and possibly for the rest of the year. We've got an extended dry stretch ahead of us. So high pressure, dry conditions, they take over tonight and tomorrow. And even this system that's going to be crossing the lake looks like it's going to be coming through dry. So we're not anticipating any rain or snow with that. And temperatures only get warmer behind that front. We're looking at 40s for a good chunk of the forecast. In fact, we've got a stretch of 9 straight days of above average temperatures, and that's going to be starting on Friday. Can't start soon enough for some of us, but let's take a look at these lows because they are going to be the coldest that we'll have to contend with. 13 in Detroit, 10 is what we're expecting for an official low temperature, but most spots on this map are going to be in single digits, including the south zone. 6 to 11 is what we're expecting here. At least these numbers are all going to be in positive territory, but again, these are temperatures. It will feel a little bit lower than that with just some very light winds tonight. 6 to 10 is what we're expecting here in the west zone. And north of M59, a lot of single digits, maybe a couple spots 10 or above as we head into tomorrow morning. Otherwise, in the afternoon, we do make some progress, more than we did today. We'll get up to 30, so still not quite to average and not even above freezing, but we fixed that on Friday at 38. 40 start rolling in here on Saturday, and they just continue all the way through Christmas Eve. Christmas Day on Wednesday, it looks like we'll hit 39, still above average. And notice, Sandra, there's not a drop or a flake in this entire 7-day forecast through the 25th.
All right. Thank you, Ben. We all know the holidays can be really tough, a very tough time for families with children who are facing terminal illness. That's why a group of retired flight attendants and Delta Airlines host a trip to the North Pole, and they do it every year. Nick Monticelli hopped on board a flight to spread some holiday cheer where it's really needed the most.
Happy Saturday, Santa!
It's a destination we know exists, but have absolutely no idea how to get there.
I'm gonna go to an airplane.
The airplane can fly to the North Pole?
I think so.
But for little ones like Brian Basil Jr., the how doesn't matter as long as the big man in red is waiting on the other side.
Because I want to see Santa.
Nearly 70 children fighting potentially terminal illnesses were invited on this very special Silverliners flight. Hundreds of volunteers make it happen.
I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I've already cried.
Doctors found a tumor in Ryan when she was just 17 months old. 20 chemo treatments later, and she's here.
I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun and something that she'll never forget.
Her blood does not make healthy cells.
5-year-old Clara has leukemia, so seeing Santa in crowds of people is out of the question.
She has no immune system, so we can't go out and hang out with our friends and all those things because there's lots of germs everywhere.
Out of the question except for today.
We'll be at the North Pole. We'll see Santa Claus, probably about a 40-minute flight.
Somehow, someway, Delta Airlines was able to get clearance from Santa himself to fly this plane to the North Pole. The only caveat is they can't open the shades. Nobody can know how to get there. That's really not a problem for Gabriel, though. He's not going to know regardless.
All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's our pleasure to welcome you to the North Pole where the
Most of them, who wouldn't have opportunity to do something like this. It's a lifetime experience. They're going to remember this forever.
So Christmas is huge. So we haven't been able to do all the Christmas things. They go and see Santa and go and play and do all the things. So be able to have a spot for us safe where we can enjoy Christmas a little bit more. It's huge.
At the North Pole, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
What a special day. Nick also tells us Santa, who also happens to work in operations for the airport, also raised $26,000. That's all to buy presents, meals, gas cards, and a whole lot more for those families. And remember, we are going to be tracking breaking news from Capitol Hill through the impeachment vote. And you can keep an eye on the debate on Local 4 and on clickondetroit.com. That vote, again, as we've been telling you, it's expected between 6:30 and 7 this evening. Stay with us.